Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Faiza Riyani Putri, and today I'm going to present my research entitled A Study of Figurative Meanings in Champagne Problems by Taylor Swift. This study explores how figurative language functions in song lyrics, specifically how it conveys emotion, meaning, and artistic depth in one Taylor Swift's most emotionally charged songs. Background of the study. Language is at the heart of all human communication, and song lyrics are among the most powerful ways of expressing human emotion. As McGregor states in 2024, linguistics help us understand how words carry power and meaning in human interaction. In the case of champion problems, Taylor Swift used language not only to tell story, but also to make listeners feel the heartbreak, regret, and emotional weight behind her lyrics. The study therefore examines how figurative meanings in her songs create deeper emotional resonance beyond the literal interpretation of the words. From semantic point of view, song lyrics can be seen as puzzles. Every word and line has been carefully chosen to express both direct and hidden meanings. Semantics helps us analyze how those meanings are constructed and how listeners interpret them emotionally. According to R. Talohanas and Yuwana, studying lyrics as text separately from the melody or performance allows us to focus purely on the language. In Champion Problems, this linguistic focus reveals the ways Taylor Swift's figurative choices, like metaphors and irony, shape how listeners perceive heartbreak and human vulnerability. Let's move to the research question. We have three questions here. What is the meaning of figurative speech in the lyrics? 2. What figurative speech is often used in the song? And the last question is how is the meaning of figurative speech is a key to seeing the real interpretation in the song. These questions guide the analysis and ensure that my focus remains on the linguistic and emotional essence of the song. Now move to the description of research object. The object of my study is reading lyrics of Taylor Swift's Champagne Problem, released in 2020 as part of her Evermore album. Following Talohanas and Yuhana framework, I analyze only the lyrics as text, excluding musical elements like rhythm, tone, or video interpretation, to maintain the precision of linguistic analysis. By treating the lyrics as independent text, I was able to identify and interpret different forms of figurative language such as metaphor, irony, and hyperbole as they appear across the verses, the chorus, and the bridge. Next is research objectives and benefits. The main goal of this study is to perform an in-depth linguistic and semantic analysis of figurative language in Champagne Problems. It aims to show how Taylor Swift uses figurative speech to convey emotion and express meaning indirectly. As Haliza mentioned, in 2025, such analysis contributes to the fields of linguistic and stylistic by validating popular songs as modern literary works. This study not only benefits scholars by expanding our understanding of semantic in song lyrics, but also gives listeners a deeper appreciation of Taylor Swift's artistry and emotional storytelling. Let's move to theoretical framework. Figurative language, as Alfiani described in 2021, gives emotional depth and expressive power to writing and speech. In this study, I consider several types. One is metaphor, for instance, involves implicit comparison, like saying, "My heart's a battlefield," which represents inner turmoil. Hyperbole uses deliberate exaggeration, such as "I cried 1,000 times," to intensify emotion. And simile draws direct comparison. For example, "You shine like the moon," and other devices like irony, personification, and paradox help transform literal statement into emotionally charged expression that connect with listener on a deeper level. As you can see in my research, I only found three figurative speech that are metaphor, irony, and hyperbole. I have not found personification in these lyrics. The result of my analysis, I identified 12 examples of figurative language in champagne problems. There were 5 metaphors, which make up 41.7%, 4 instances of irony, or 33.3%, 3 cases of hyperbole, or 25%, and no examples of personification. Now let's look at some example. "Your heart was glass, I dropped it." This metaphor represents fragility and emotional shattering. 2 is champagne problems. It's an irony threats contrasting luxury with heartbreak. The third one, "She would have made such a lovely bride," a polite remark concealing emotional pain. This identify as irony. "And this dome was once made house" is a hyperbole describing chaos and emotional turmoil. This example shows how Taylor Swift uses figurative language to intensify emotional storytelling. Also, Taylor Swift uses this device, the figurative language, in the song capture the emotional aftermath of a failed marriage proposal through metaphors and irony. Taylor Swift illustrates both the narrator's regret and the emotional collapse of the one who was rejected. This expression of sorrow and reflection allow listener to empathize with both sides of the story. By blending literal and figurative meanings, Taylor turns personal heartbreak into a universal experience, demonstrating how language itself can heal and connect people through shared emotion. The conclusion of this research identify metaphor, irony, and hyperbole as the main figurative device that enrich champagne problems. They give the song emotional power and help communicate themes of pain, love, and recovery in ways that literal language could not achieve. However, as Simarmata and colleagues state, in 2021, figurative language is open to multiple interpretations and can be influenced by individual and cultural perspectives. Because of this subjectivity, further studies could explore figurative meanings through psychological, cultural, or even musical approaches to gain a more holistic understanding of modern song lyrics. And here's some reference that I use. Thank you very much for your attention. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.